I am Don.
And I'm Beau. We didn't do this in the last
We didn't. You know us. You know us. And you know this. This is, what is this? This is KOTOR 2! Knights of the Old Republic 2! The sequel to the game of the year.
Now, we said in our last podcast about Oblivion that the problem with Oblivion is the caveat is always that it's not Morrowind. Yeah. The caveat to KOTOR 2 is that it's not KOTOR. It's better.
Okay. Brass tacks. If you Google Knights of the Old Republic 2, it will, did you mean cut content?
There is a media campaign against this game. The lamestream media.
The fake news.
The fake news doesn't want you playing KOTOR.
We live in a red state. We know fake news. We make fake news. We are fake news. We don't exist.
This game's content is huge. Indescribable.
Look, it's great for the same reason that Mad Max Fury Road is great. There is a major story there, but it doesn't tell you. It shows you.
It almost doesn't matter.
This is a broken game about broken people in a broken setting. And with that, let's begin. You don't play as Revan. You're not some hoity-toity Jedi. What? You're an ex-Jedi. You're a washed-up Jedi.
Oh, so good. I'm remembering now. Yeah.
This story begins. The story isn't told to you chronologically. I'm going to tell you chronologically. Just so we can, establish a mainstream narrative.
We always tell you to play a game. Don't take our word for it. Play a game. Don't play this game. Listen to Don.
Okay, then play it. Because you can play this game as many times as you want. It'll be different every time because you never know what quests will trigger or which will break. You don't know if the game will allow you to complete it.
This is the first major broken game that had any sort of impact on the world. And Don has such a soft spot for broken games.
Okay, so the story in KOTOR 1, you're introduced to the Mandalorian Wars, and it's just a background setting. Mandalorians lost, big deal. And then Revan goes crazy and abducts with half the fleet of the Republic and goes all fascist with Malak, and, it goes from there.
The Sith revive
to
attack a weakened Republic.
But turns out every Jedi that followed Revan to war followed him to the dark side, except for one. You are that one. And, the reasons are your own. This game actually, the dialogue in this game, it's not so much telling you, it's not just telling you what you did, but why you did it. You can even say, I don't know why I did it. It's a very personal game, so it changes every time. It very much encourages you to roleplay. So
it really does. It's one of the few BioWare titles of that era that actually encourages you to play your own character.
Yeah, your character is very open-ended. There are a few plot points. You were a younger Jedi, and you weren't like young, rosy in the cheeks. You were a Jedi. You weren't a Jedi Master. You were wearing the Padawan robes, I guess, in a flashback.
And the stupid haircut. Yeah.
And you were in a somewhat inappropriate relationship with one of the masters, but it wasn't really consummated, so it's okay.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
She had all the power in that relationship. She wasn't that much older than you, but still. She should have been a lot more open. I'm not saying that relationship can't work. I'm not saying a TA and a young, hip college professor cannot be a very happy couple.
There's
but
just a lot of...
It needs to be transparent.
And
consensuality... Consent needs to be renewed.
Consent, yeah, absolutely. And
anyway, you
could burn down Applebee's.
Yeah. So the Mandalorians invade the Galactic Republic, and there's a lot of young, impressionable Jedi, and you're among them, who just feel that direct action needs to be taken because millions of people are dying. The Jedi Code says you have to help people.
It's the Marine recruitment in 2001.
Yeah,
that's a good parallel.
You want to take that lightsaber and destroy the lava demon.
You want to put a boot in their ass. It's the Republic way.
And the Jedi Masters say, no, you must not do this. Just give us some time. Millions of people are dying every day. Revan is offering solutions. If you're not offering another solution, just tell us the plan. No, you have to have faith. No, I'm going to go with Revan. And you do, and your choice does what war does to every young, idealistic person. It breaks you down because it turns out you were not the best Force user. You weren't the strongest. You probably weren't even the smartest. Your only real special attribute is that you got along really well with the people you got along with, and the people who hated you hated you.
This is the most mature storytelling I think Star Wars has ever had, actually.
Yeah,
and I don't say that as a joke. That's actually serious. Like,
you form very close connections with people who get along with you, and it turns out the people who get along with you are the people who are willing to follow you to certain death. So,
go figure.
So you go to a Vietnam planet and fight a Vietnam war.
Vietnam 5.
Yeah, you go to Duxon, a jungle war with a bunch of Mandalorians, and you fight some really hard battles, take terrible losses, and it just takes away from your soul.
I just get the image of you like in a gunship flying around, and it's like, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate son. You got the minigun hanging out the side.
Like Bail Organa is over there, like protesting the protesters. Yeah, way to go, Mr. Romney.
Master Jesse Ventura, what's our next turn?
Anyway, eventually this all culminates in the final battle of the Mandalorian Wars, and we're not told a whole lot about it in KOTOR 1. In KOTOR 2, you've risen up in the ranks. You've proven your worth as a military commander. You are the general. You have been put in charge of assembling a fleet from the tattered remnants of the Republic. Revan has the elites. He's going to join you at Malachor 5 for one final battle, but he gets delayed, or she gets delayed. It doesn't matter.
Right.
I'm gonna mess up the pronouns, but whatever. You find yourself under attack by the full force of what remains of the Mandalorian fleet. They think they can get their one decisive battle to destroy the Republic fleet, force them to capitulate. And you really don't have a chance because you were put in charge of the tattered remnants, not the elites.
Right, because Revan's got all the big boys. You've got the little guys.
There's only one real option left to you: one of a Zabrak or Iridonian. The game has its faults. It kind of says this one guy is both. Bao-Dur, he's a friend of yours. He's built himself a doomsday weapon, and he wants to know if we should use it, because if we don't use it, the Republic might wind up in a bad position. So you turn to him and you just nod. You can't even bring yourself to say yes. And in that instant, the planet Malachor 5 goes from the size of Earth to the size of Mercury, and the after effects of that basically destroy what most of the Mandalorian fleet and most of your fleet. And in that moment, all the Jedi, all the Mandalorians, all the baseline Republic soldiers you fought with and struggled with die, cry out in terror, and are suddenly silenced. Now,
the most mature storytelling in Star Wars
now,
history.
when Obi-Wan feels Alderaan, he doesn't know anyone on Alderaan. He's not at Alderaan, and he still gets the wind knocked out of him.
He knew one guy on Alderaan at least.
Yeah.
He talks to Bail in episode 3.
Okay, yeah, but
So he knew one guy.
You were at the epicenter of it. You were the cause of it, and the people who died were people you knew.
And it was your decision to do it.
Yeah.
It was ultimately your decision. Yeah, by the way,
pain-
this was Obsidian, not BioWare.
Yeah.
That's why you're noticing such a ramp in the morality of the game.
You were a broken, you were terrified. You were broken. You just fall unconscious. You're in shock. They PTSD.
John Rambo times like
Basically,
50. Yeah. John Rambo times 50.
And when you wake up, all your remaining friends are just talking about how the Republic doesn't understand, and we just need to, build a wall.
God, the Vietnam parallels are incredible. I never realized it.
Yeah, it's like everyone starts saying, "Look, all these peaceniks who oppose the war, they don't understand. We need a military control. We need to bring back traditional values of personal perseverance and individuality and military strength above all else." And you're just like some sad sack on a bridge of a ship. Like, I'm taking a shuttle back to Coruscant. I need to sleep.
Bruh.
Like, guys, I'm out. I'm sorry. I'll catch up with you, mate. I don't know. I need to think. I need to think some things over. So you go back to the Jedi Council, because really, this is the Jedi. You've been there your whole life. They abducted you from your family when you bent a spoon by accident.
They raised you. Yeah,
This is your family. This Atrus, she's still kind of your love interest at this point. Kavar, he trained you. He's a cool younger professor who actually did support the war.
He's the guy that sits. He's the guy that sits in his chair backwards.
Yeah.
And, he doesn't get mad at you. He says, "Hey, let's rap for a bit."
Yeah, and then of course there's Rook, but he's still the stern father figure for you. All of them are against you. None of them even give you a chance to say anything. The minute you try to even kind of explain what you did, they take it as a direct insult, and they turn you out on your ass, turn in your badge and lightsaber, and get out of our sight. And they don't even like take into consideration what happened to you. They don't take into consideration you're the only one who came back and thought to ask for forgiveness or just to explain yourself. And after you leave, they're like, something's weird with him. Should we have maybe let him crash on our couch for a minute? Should we have checked him into a clinic? I don't think he's in his right mind. No, he should have been killed. Atrus is really mad. Mm-hmm. She's really mad. She's unreasonably mad for some reason. It's like she's got some other issues.
It's almost as if
it's like she's just using her position as an excuse to be mad and vent frustration she can't vent in public because of strict social codes. Anyway,
I wonder if that's something the dark side can take root
yeah,
in.
Yeah, it's almost like she's a born again Christian. She's a good person. But man, she really, really hates this person. And Jesus, it's not her fault. You did the wrong thing. She's doing the right thing. Anyway, you leave. You've lost your job. You've lost all your friends. Bao, he's still around somewhere. Maybe you'll meet up with him.
You're John Rambo walking through the town.
Yeah, you're just walking around with a rack with a
knapsack.
With a knapsack. Yeah. You were last seen walking through a Taco Bell drive-through. And then
it's deep. The game.
There's a sad guitar music just following you around. You know what? I need to get my head together, man. I'm gonna go out into the outer rim. I got some friends out there. I'll just lay low and try to process this. I can't feel the Force anymore, and I don't think I want to.
We're an hour into the game, by the way. This is so early.
The game hasn't even begun. Backstory you need to know. Anyway, you do find one of your friends oh man, you look terrible. Don't even think about the war. I'm turning Space CNN off. You're not going to listen about this Jedi Civil War that's happening. It's not on you, man. That shit's not on you. You got to put that. Look, here's a Coors Light. I'm gonna set you up with a job prospecting. We're just gonna mine. We're gonna work by day. We work hard. We play hard. So I
got the Xbox. I got the Halo.
Yeah. So that's your job. You crash on your friend's couch out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody knows where you are. Nobody knows who you are, and that's the way you like it. Mm-hmm. One day after a really rowdy bonfire party, you're just laying on your back talking about your dreams. Man, what do you even want out of life? One of these days, I really want to go back to Coruscant and open up a diner. I just can't get it. I just can't see leaving all this behind, man. What about you? Do you want to go back to the Jedi Council? No, they'd never take me back, man. I miss it. I miss having a sense of purpose and an ideological groundwork. It's just, I can't do it, man. I'm never leaving this rock. No, man. Look. The Jedi, they're basically all dead. And the Republic is offering some really good job offers for anyone who knows something or two about the Jedi. And I maybe brought you an application. Are you trying to get rid of me, man? No, man, I think you need this. And it's pretty sweet gig, I'm not going to lie. I can't feel the Force. They're not asking you to move rocks. This is a consultancy job. You just phone it in. You get a company car. It's a sweet gig. Look. Just do this for me, man. I can't stand seeing you like this. You're so much better than this goddamn outer rim nonsense. You know what? You're right, and you know what? We both are. This is all the money I've made mining between Malachor 5 and Game Start. You take this to Coruscant. You open your bar. You open your diner, man. You live your dream. I'm gonna live mine. We're gonna meet at the end of this. Come here, old buddy. I'll see you on the other side, Dex. You know I live forever, right? So take your time. Don't get fat on me now.
Don't get fat.
No, this Adonis is gonna live forever, man. Anyway, you call in, you get hired on the spot. Like, hey, this guy says he's a Jedi. Yeah, he can loop. Did you say he can move rocks? I kind of hung up after he said yes. Like, yeah, I got like 0 force points at this point. I haven't really looked into it. Don't really want to look into it, but I can tell you about the Jedi. I can talk. I can talk Jedi anytime you want. Okay, here's the Harbinger. It's a Republic cruiser, but we've requisitioned it for your cab, and we're taking you to your job. Okay, Harbinger picks up a distress signal from the Ebon Hawk, which has been attacked by a Sith warship, and
the ship from the first game.
Yeah, and Revan's not on it. T3M4 is, and so is an old woman named Kreia. And they show up, and then immediately thereafter, it turns out there's a bunch of stealth Sith and a dead Sith that the Republic cruiser brought on board, who immediately start ransacking the place with reckless abandon. And right in the middle of all this, an HK-50 droid.
That's 3 better than you had in the last game.
He's silver. But he gives you enough sedatives to knock out an elephant, and he stores
space elephant.
He locks you in a container to keep you safe from the Sith because he's got other ideas for you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But then Kreia and T3M4 managed to get you into the Ebon Hawk and escape, but not without being hit by the Harbinger, which at this point is completely under Sith control. And this begins the game. By the way, this is where the game begins. You have to infer all this that I've talked about up until now.
What's the time right now, Adam? Out of curiosity, what's the time? Because that was all backstory.
This is backstory.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just curious. 16 minutes of backstory.
It's just so much, so dense. You got so much things going on. T3M4 has to fix the Ebon Hawk. That's the tutorial mission, basically, teaching the mechanics of the game. Mm-hmm. You wake up, and anyway, Exile wakes up in the middle of a morgue, basically. A bunch of dead people running around. He's just lying in a puddle of unknown substance. He's like, oh, man, I was doing so good.
I should have stayed back there mining.
So good. Why did I leave? And then one of the corpses wakes up. It's Kreia, and then it turns out you actually started to feel the Force when she's around. She's in your head talking to you. That's weird. And then she starts to teach you just a little bit. She's not saying much about herself yet. She never really will be. she really loves. But anyway, you found a mom, and she is very domineering. She's a very mother hen kind of person. There's something about you that caught her eye. So she's gonna something. She's gonna teach you a little bit. She's gonna make you feel the Force again. And as you run around this facility looking for pants because you're still naked at this point, you wind up killing a bunch of droids, and slowly you find you can start feeling the Force again. It's kind of weird. It's like every time you kill something, even something as limited as a droid, it's like something comes into you. You can start regaining your connection to the things around you. Then you find Atton, who is who at first is basically Han Solo. He's jokey. He's a smuggler pilot, and a lot of people just think that's all he is. And
they underestimate him.
You let him out. You have a few jokey like, "Hey, they changed the dress code while I was in here." Yeah, that's funny, man. Look, everyone's dead. Wait, what? Yeah, everyone. Like, I don't know what's going on, man. I know as much as you. I just woke up in a morgue and I'm not even high. I feel gypped.
I thought the embalming fluid should have done something.
Anyway, there's an old woman here. She's she's an old woman. I didn't take her with me for obvious reasons. So, look. We're going to try to figure out what's going on here. Yeah, it looks like all the droids have been reprogrammed by someone. Oh, it must be the guy in charge of reprogramming droids. I'll just go find him. Oh, he's dead. And he voice locked everything before he died, and I can't get him. Oh, wait, that HK-50 droid is here. Hey, HK-50, can you mimic this guy's voice? Oh, sure. It would be very illegal, though. Oh, yeah. Do you know the code to get out of this place? Yeah. Could you maybe go over there and speak the code in his voice? No. Oh, could you... let me just get my microphone out here. Can you, hypothetically, if you were doing this just, alone, do you have the ability? Do you have the balls to do it?
Are you man enough?
Are you man enough to speak the code? And then he does, and you manage to get out.
And you're like, ah!
I'll never see him again.
Everything in this game is that convoluted. By the way.
Yeah, and, most of the boss fights in this game are dialogue bosses. So you go outside and like, okay, I got a spacesuit. I managed to finagle my way out of all this labyrinth of bullshit. And like, hey, wait a minute. That looks like the Harbinger. Wait a minute. That's not right. I'm going to go talk to Atten. Like, hey, Atten, all the miners are dead. And that ship that just docked. And here's Kreia. Yeah, we need to leave right now. wait, is that 5-0? Are you holding? What's going on? Look, I fell pretty hard after the war. I'm just saying.
Smell the whiskey burning down.
No, it's the Sith. It's okay. So you go onto the Harbinger, you fight your way through a bunch of Sith assassins, get the navigational data out. You go back, you make a dash for the Ebon Hawk, and some really, really buff yet dead man shows up, and he's got like half an eye, and his name is Darth Sion, and he starts growling. Everything he says is just a growl, and Kreia says, "Don't worry, I can handle this bitch." And she starts, talking to him like a mother and a son. The son can kick her ass, but she feels she has some control over him. That's kind of weird. And eventually, he just has enough and cuts her hand off, and you feel it. And that's a little distressing.
Very distressing.
But eventually you all make it to the Ebon Hawk, and then Sith soldiers just start coming out of fucking nowhere to try to board it. And this is a little game glitch. If you shoot them with the turbo laser, it's fun, but you don't get experience for it. You need to let every Sith on the facility board the Ebon Hawk so you get their loot and their experience. Just go with it. Anyway, you escape with Kreia, and she says, I believe we have formed a force bond. It's very unusual, but then again, maybe you were always good at that. Yeah, maybe I was. Wait, how did you know that? You weren't at the Jedi. Look, I know the Jedi Council pretty well. They exiled me. They raised me. You were never there. Who are you exactly? Oh, let's just talk somewhere else where Atten can't hear us. Then Atten says, she was probably hot once. You know what? You're probably right. That's kind of a weird thing to say. It's like it's important or something. Anyway, you go and talk to Kreia, and she says, okay, here's the deal. There's a bunch of Sith hunting the remaining Jedi, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. This guy named Darth Nihilus, he visited a planet where all the Jedi were meeting, and he basically ate it. We don't really know exactly how. He's just that powerful. He doesn't really care about the universe anymore. He doesn't see the world. He sees the world as a god. Sion, he's a whole other mess. Anyway, look, we're going to Telos because that's the only place we can really get to at this point. And you show up, and you're immediately arrested. Oh my god, did they find out I burned down Applebee's? Like, dude, did you burn down Paragus? Did you blow up the planet? We needed that planet for fuel. Oh, thank God.
They don't know about Applebee's.
They don't know about the Applebee's. Okay, no, that was the Sith. That was totally the Sith. Go there and check it out. Okay, we'll follow through on your... That's a reasonable request, I'll admit. So...
He's a reasonable centrist. He's willing to believe that the Sith might have...
that the planet exploding might not have been the last person to see it, the planet, You're in your cell for 5 minutes, and some guy shows up with a gun and says, there's a bounty on Jedi, and I see on this job application filled out by Jexter Dexter that you are a Jedi. Yeah, I lied my ass off on that resume, man. I didn't think I'd have to move rocks. I can do it though. Want to see?
It was fake it till I make it. But.
Anyway, he says, "Yeah, I'm just going to shoot you and turn in the bounty. First, I need to make it look like you tried to escape. So here's your force cage off." And you snap his neck with the Force, and then the other guards go like, wait a minute. He's not on duty. In fact, he's not even supposed to be on the station. Okay, I guess you can get away with murder, too. So you go to an apartment, and then Zerka Corp and the Ithorians both interrupt your meditation, saying, hey, do you want to work for us? Because Telos was Karth Onassi's homeworld. It doesn't trust you. It's also dead. Malik really did a number on it. He tap danced all over it with turbo lasers.
Oh yeah, he likes doing that. Yeah, he did it to Terrace.
Yeah, you can't even breathe on it anymore. It's just an acidic vapor. But the Ithorians have been, building a national park on it, trying to rebuild the environment. And Zerka is saying, this is really expensive. Maybe if we turned it into an industrial hellhole, it would at least be economical. And you know what? This is really a defining moment of KOTOR 2, because Zerka is the dark side, but the dark side has a point on this case, because Telos is important not because it's just a planet that needs to be rebuilt. It's a planet that if you do rebuild it, it gives hope to other Outer Rim planets that they can be returned to economic viability. And the Republic can continue to grow instead of just continue to die. Zerka argues that it needs to be done cheaply and fastly so that the Republic Senate will be willing to continue to fund it. And the best way to do that is to immediately just write the whole planet off as a nice place.
Right.
And turn it into an industrial city in China. Anyway, given the backstory of our character, he's trying to do right in the world. He doesn't want Applebee's to be built on Telos.
It's just going to get burnt down anyway.
Yeah, we need a national forest, and so he goes to the Ithorians, and he does a bunch of quests to just help them. And the Ithorians actually do make one really good point. Look, the Zerka may have the resources to rebuild Telos in their image, but they would also get no-bid contracts throughout the Republic. Their corruption would never be undone. If you allow Telos to be rebuilt our way, it'll be independent, and maybe it'll have industry on its own. It's a question of what brand of Marxism you subscribe to, really.
Because now we're getting to Maoism. We're getting into...
Look, you could argue that if you allow Zerka to have their way, a revolution is inevitable. And then you get to have the industrial output, and you can, fix it. Or you could start fresh from the ground up, agrarian economy. Anyway, there's a really cool side mission that really does have some good foreshadowing. The Ithorians had a really advanced droid to help them with their reconstruction efforts, and it just kind of disappeared. Zerka didn't steal this one. It just ran away. So you rewire another droid, and the Ithorians are like, "Yeah, this is great. This is their droid. They won't question what it does." It immediately gets all up in their shady dealings and reveals them to the world because they just see, like, oh, it's a droid. Don't bother it. And this really takes to the effort that was put in the game. If you take this droid, which you control as a temporary party member, you can take it anywhere on the station. There will be unique dialogue for it. Places you have no business going.
Right.
You can go to a droid mechanic and say, you've been overcharging for my maintenance. Give me 50 credits. You get those 50 credits.
Right. And that's something I want to kind of point out is Obsidian. This game didn't become incomplete on Obsidian's part. Yeah. Obsidian put the work in on this game hardcore.
You can really tell. It's just they had to cut a lot to get it out before Christmas because that's what company wanted.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, you help the Ithorians, and they help you get okay, I think we can start something beautiful here. On your way out, the mercenaries attack them, and it is a choice. You have access to a shuttle. You can go down to try to get the Ebon Hawk, which, by the way, was stolen
in the first place.
You had a dude, where's my car moment, quite literally. Just because the exile can't catch a goddamn break.
And then?
Yeah. So you go back to save the Ithorians, and let's just meditate, man. Here's some medicinal herb. We're going to restore your connection to the Force. Yeah, let's just chill out for a little bit, man. Okay, then you go, okay, I'm chilled out. Let's go get my car. I got things I need to do, man. Apparently there's Sith that I need to escape from or confront. Also personal demons that I need to, confront just on principle.
And there is a new Applebee's being
Yeah.
in the galaxy.
So you, Atten and you and Kreia, you get into the shuttle, you go down to the surface of Telos, which is under Reconstruction, and it is rather nice, but you see through the shield what rest of Telos looks like, what all of Telos would look like with no intervention, and it's just mercury. Molten lakes of lead. Anyway, you get shot down because the universe hates you.
Can't catch a break, man.
And you wake up for the third time in as many days, just face down in the dirt, bloodied, and not high.
Not high. He never gets to be high.
He never does. He doesn't want to be high, but if he's going to wake up face down in the dirt, he wants to have at least had some fun. Anyway, you wake up, and hey, your old pal BioWare is here. Like, hey, I managed to pull you free of that crash, man. You haven't become a better pilot with age, I see. Like, hey, BioWare. Oh my God, it's so good to see him. And it's been a rough few years. I'm not gonna lie. Wait a minute, what happened to your arm? Oh my God, dude. I'm so sorry for leaving you outside the emergency room and bolting. I feel really bad about it. Like, dude, it's okay. This new arm I got, it's really cool. You want to see what it does? It shuts down force fields. Let's get you a new shuttle. So you hijack another shuttle and you go to the polar regions, which you have a lead. A man on the street says this is where Evan Hawke is. So you go to the polar regions. And a bunch of bounty hunter HK-50 droids shoot you down again, and you wake up face down in the dirt, not high. And you're feeling, okay, Palpa's getting upset.
This isn't a joke, by the way. This is stuff that really happens in this game in quick succession.
You you beat the shit out of the HK-50 droids, you vent your frustration, and then a bunch of albino women kidnap you. And then you're like, okay, wait a minute, a bunch of albino women. I know an albino woman that looks kind of like this. Oh my God, no, you should have died at Malachor 5, you jerk. Like, oh God. Damn it, I don't need this right now. Atrus, I'm sorry. I know we didn't leave on the best of terms, but something had to be done. I did what I thought was best. What do you want from me? I'm sorry. Is that what you want to hear? You should have died, you Sith. I'm not a Sith, Atrus. Come on. You know me.
Atrus.
Look, we've had our hang-ups, but I'm not a Sith. Do you see me? People who are Sith have split skin and red eyes.
Look at the character sheet, Atrus. Look at the character sheet.
I am basically Jesus. Look at my bearded model. Anyway, you do finally convince her to calm down and explain to her that the Sith are back. And this actually gets her attention because she's a good person. She's a Jedi. She's very, very hung up on the idea of her being a great Jedi. In fact, the only Jedi. She's actually kind of offended that you say they think I'm a Jedi. Well, they're wrong. Yeah.
The last Jedi.
Look. I lied. I admit I'm not a Jedi. Yes, you're not a Jedi. I'm a Jedi. I'm a Jedi. I'm a good Jedi. I'm a born again Jedi.
JEDI, brother.
Yep. Okay. Well, they think I'm a Jedi. Well, that's stupid. Yeah. That's stupid. They're very stupid for thinking I'm a Jedi, but they're still trying to kill me, and you need help. Okay. Well. There's some other Jedi hanging out in the galaxy. Go out and find them, and maybe we'll do something. Maybe you can redeem yourself from your terrible, terrible sins, you filthy, filthy man. Okay, fine. Fine. I'm leaving. Okay? We're done? All right, good. So you go out and vent your frustration on her students, who are not her students. They're actually pledged to not be her students. They're just her handmaidens, literally.
Oh, that's right.
Her Ichani personal guard, skilled in the arts of unarmed combat, and this game actually makes unarmed combat very viable. You can go through the entire game without a single item equipped.
They were probably trying to boost sales of Masters of Terrascasi, which had done very poorly about 7 years earlier.
Anyway, you beat the piss out of these 5 handmaidens, and you're like, wait a minute, I can take all 60. You're not going to fight the last of us. She sucks. Why does she suck? Why are you ragging on your sister? This is unhealthy. This is a toxic ass polar ice cap. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want any part of this.
I wouldn't even burn down an Applebee's here.
Yeah. I'm leaving. Wait. I'm gonna go talk to her. I'm gonna look. Are you okay? Do you want to get out of here? I mean, look. I'm not propositioning you on a date. I'm saying this is a toxic environment. There are places for people. If you want to go, You can do anything, sister. Look, you're a strong woman. You don't need these people.
I used to be just like you.
Yeah.
Face down in the dirt, not high.
Several times in the last week, actually. Like, she said so many terrible things. She said you burned down an Applebee's for very good reason.
First off, that's a cool thing.
First
and
of all,
you're gonna find that out when we leave.
Yes, I left the Jedi Council to burn down the Mandalorians who were building Applebee's all over the outer rim.
A rampage of Applebee's. And most of these Applebee's didn't even have a 2 for $20.
Look, they
didn't honor it.
They were the opposite of cool. We needed to enlighten them. That's what Jedi do. I thought, anyway.
And then they built Chipotle's where those Applebee's was.
So anyway, what's your job here? Oh, I collect Jedi and Force lore from across the galaxy. Oh, that's cool. That sounds like a cool job. Yeah. I'm not allowed to actually see it. I mean, I bring it to her, so I see some of it, and some of it's kind of weird. It's like hisses at me. That doesn't sound like Jedi things. What's Atrus doing here exactly? I don't know. We're not allowed to learn the Force. So she's starting a school here with no students and a bunch of people who can't feel the Force. And there's Jedi artifacts, quote-unquote Jedi artifacts that are hissing, and she's meditating in there right now. Is she okay? Yeah, she's fine. She's the greatest. She's the last Jedi. She's going to save us. Okay, whatever. You do you, girl. Then you go see Atten, and it turns out Atten has been... Krey has been digging around in Atten's mind, and she's found something very interesting that we're not allowed to talk about right now. But Atten is like face down in the dirt again, and like
not high.
Yeah, he's not even high. He's not having a good time. And Kreia is just like, oh hey, did your meeting go well? No, it really didn't. I didn't think so. She's a bitch, isn't she? Wait, you know Atrus? No. Like what? Why is Atten on the ground? Oh, he's just tired. He can sleep on the ship. Let's get out of here. So you get back on the Ebon Hawk. You're finally in space. The game's finally starting to open up. And T3M4 says, by the way, I stole her list of where the Jedi are. Also, I stole this log of your trial. Like, let's have family movie night. Oh, yeah, let's bring that up. That's just what I needed, T3M4. I really appreciate it. So you start having your talks with Kreia. Like, okay, you've let on some things. You said you knew Atrus? Okay, you got me. I was a Jedi once upon a time. Well, I never saw you at the council, and they never talked about you. Well, maybe they're ignorant. Maybe they're just being dicks. So did you know Revan? No, I never said that. Yeah, you did. You kind of did earlier. I misspoke.
Don't worry about it, dude.
Let's do some Revan. Did you teach Revan? Revan had a lot of masters. Who am I to say?
Which one was Revan again?
Okay, there was one. His first master was Aaron K. Wait a minute, I don't know any Aaron K, and I don't know you either. In fact, I know every single one of Revan's masters except for Aaron K. And Aaron K was apparently the first and the last of Revan's teachers. That's kind of okay, maybe there was a certain Ishani girl who was in a certain Ishani world.
Not saying which one.
Who was dueling with a certain dashing young rogue named Usanus. Maybe she fell in love. Maybe she had a baby. A white baby with white hair. Maybe the Jedi kicked her out because they didn't like you having babies and family ties, and well, it shows them. Aaron K didn't really ever have any involvement in this certain baby. That is never.
This isn't far from the writing that appears in the game.
Yeah,
this really isn't that far.
Look, you really don't need to know anymore. Just you don't train her in the Force. In fact, you shouldn't even talk to her. Okay, Mom. Look. Our relationship is completely friendly, and look, she's been a perfect lady this entire time. Why are you ragging on her so hard? What is so personal about a girl who looks actually kind of like you? Like, wait, would you like to learn more about the Force? Yes, please. 1000 XP. You've mastered this technique. Oh, that's great. I'm really learning a lot. Thank you, Craig. Okay,
Kreia.
I gained like 5 levels talking to you, Kreia. Thank you.
Hey, Adam, who wrote this game? Look up the head writer.
The good guy. Anyway, you go talk to a handmaiden, and he's like, "Hey, you're an Achani, right? Yeah. Why do you why do your sisters rag on you so much?" "Well, my mother was not their mother." "Oh, okay, that's fairly normal in this universe. This is 2019."
This is 2019. Whatever, man. Whatever.
I bear the face. Yes, she was a Jedi, a fallen Jedi. Yeah, I heard about that. You could become a Jedi too, right? You're strong in the Force, so just like your mother. I never knew my mother, and she never dropped by. But I don't know if I should be. I don't know. It would be betraying my oath to Atrus. Well, what if we got to know each other better? There's only one way to get to know someone, and that's fighting. Take off your goddamn pants. What? Wait. I think you misread that. No. You take off your clothes to fight. You have to fight in the nude. What? It's cold on the ship. I'm not doing that. You put some clothes on. Okay, we'll fight clothed. Wait a minute. Those are Jedi robes. Yeah, they were my mother's robes. Oh, that's cool. That's a nice item. I can only get through this dialogue option. Anyway, you fight her enough, and she lets on some interesting information. You know that pilot of yours, he has Ichani training. Wait a minute. Only soldiers have Ichani training. He's just a smuggler. Yeah, that's funny. It's like I don't trust him or something. I'll talk to him about... Okay, he's next on my little round trip of the Ebon Hawk, one of many. Okay, let's just talk, sister. We fought each other, and that's important. Why? Because your true feelings come out when you fight. You are defined through combat, Wait a minute, you sound a lot like the old woman on our ship. She keeps saying that you need to confront your demons. You need to confront your adversaries, that the truth always comes out through combat. Yeah, maybe she's Johnny trained. Is that like a common thing?
Is everyone in this universe a Johnny? Who else is a Johnny trained?
Am I the only not a Johnny one?
Avalon?
Chris Avalon, yeah.
So it was him all along. Okay.
Yeah. People say that Chris Avalon hates Star Wars because he's expressed critiques of it, which is ridiculous. You critique ridiculous. Something you love.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like...
I guess millennials don't understand that.
Karl Marx was a capitalist fanboy. He just wanted something more. He loved capitalism. He just had problems with it. He critiqued it.
Yes, that's absolutely...
And like Chris Avalon... he is responsible for making it the beast it is today. For good and ill.
I couldn't remember if he actually wrote this one or not. That's why I asked
Adam. Off topic, but anyway, yeah. You eventually you get to know the handmaiden through sparring, and she becomes a Jedi. Then you go talk to Atten, like, okay.
It's amazing what fighting can do.
Yeah. So you go to Atten, and you're like, hey, you want to play some Bazak? And you want to have a chit-chat? I mean, we got a while before we go anywhere. Yeah, sure, man. So where'd you pick up the Achani training? He immediately goes to the refrigerator, picks up a Coors Light, takes a big swig, and spews it out. Achani training? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Look, I saw it, dude. It was really cool. I mean, like, yeah, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it just means you're a cool cat. Now,
you're still the same guy.
At this point, the same guy. You can persuade. You can use your persuade skill to get more out of them, but it reduces your influence because you're violating personal space. This is something that this is something Obsidian loves to do. It gives you something you can only get with a certain skill set. It just also asks you to question if it's the right thing to do.
Which is cool game making. That's very cool
because
game making.
Even a bog standard dialogue choice is better because okay, it's just that's. If you're not ready to talk about it, I'm just saying it's really cool. Oh, thanks, man.
And that consent thing we talked about earlier.
Yeah. And then you let on. Look, Kreia, she taught me how to read minds, and she showed me a snippet of yours. I just want to say, full transparency, I didn't mean to do it. Like, of course you did. I mean, that's what Jedi do. What? Wait, what? Look, I was in the wars, man. Yeah, I was in the wars too. Yeah, I know you were. That's why I feel comfortable talking to you about it. But you saw the Jedi just sitting there all high and mighty while we died by the millions. Yep. You know what? Following Revan was the right thing to do. God damn it! Like, wait a minute. You were a Sith? Yeah. I was so good at killing Jedi, man. I just walk up with a shiv and play Bazak in my head. They never saw me coming. Dude, that's hardcore, man. Hard. Like, So why'd you stop? Well, a Jedi told me that I was force sensitive, and I killed her for it. The last thing she put in my head that I can't get out was that if the Sith found out I was force sensitive, they'd break me and try to turn me into a dark Jedi. I didn't want that, so I just left it all behind until I met you, and I don't know why, but I guess I trust you, man. You know what? I trust you too. We're gonna get through this. You know what? You don't have to be a dark Jedi. I mean, there's another kind of Jedi out there.
There is, in fact, an undark Jedi.
Here's your lightsaber, and I never leveled you throughout this entire game for this specific reason. So here's like an assload of force powers. Congratulations. This game is no longer hard. So you decide, okay, there's a Jedi on Nar Shaddaa, which is a hive of scum and villainy, big urban environment. And you land, and at this point, your party is small, but pretty impressive. You've got 2 Jedi with you. 3 if you count Kreia. She said, I'm not a Jedi. Who are you to define me? Yeah.
Hey, who says I'm a Jedi?
Who says I'm a Jedi?
Says I'm a Jedi?
I am firmly in the center, mister.
She is a reasonable centrist.
She will open up about what she really is because no one is really a reasonable centrist. They're all hiding something, just like Kreia. Anyway, you go out onto...
Not hiding it very well.
Sure, you're not... sure, whatever, Kreia. So you go out, and you know the music picks up. Ding, 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 ding. Like, yes, you got the Jedi swagger. You got your confidence back. There's
the lightsaber.
There's probably an Applebee's around here somewhere.
Gotta be.
We can make last call. And then that winged creature from the Star Wars Episode 1 shows up and like, hey, you landed on my landing pad, man. Oh, I was allowed to land here. Oh, yeah, you're allowed to land here. Not. What do you think? You're some kind of Jedi waving your hand around like that? So you go to pursue.
I am toy daddy. Only money.
Here's 50 credits. Okay. You might have some problems later. Anyway, you go and there's the moment where Kreia has her little teaching moment. You give some guy 5 credits, and you're like, why'd you do that? He's just going to get mugged for it. Oh, okay, I'll consider what you said. Influence gained. As long as you say, I'll consider what you said, she's happy. But if you mug him, she also rags on you. There was no point in doing that, man. Why are you doing it? Which is what makes her kind of interesting. Yeah, even then, at the beginning, when you don't really know anything about her. So you run around, you go around swoop bike racing, blowing up droids. You go to the Bazak Den and
raising hell, praising hell.
Pretty much, your whole job on Nar Shaddaa is to lure out the Jedi by luring out the Exchange Mafia boss who had put a hit out on you. Meanwhile, a cutscene triggers in deep space. There is a ball droid with a hologram, and he's like, I have gathered all the mightiest bounty hunters across the galaxy, and our target is here. I want you to observe him for now. So you go to this cool cast of characters. There's a family of Duros that are just they're not that impressive, but there's 80 of them. They're the crazy 88. You got the twin Twi'leks who were slaves, but now they find out they really like killing, and they're really good at it. And then you've got the HK-50 droids, and it's just a Kill Bill movie.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So you run around burning down Exchange.
Applebee's.
Yeah, burning down Applebee's until the regional manager of Applebee's summons you. Like, hey, I believe you have the makings of a great manager. Denied. I'm going to help the refugees. And eventually a cutscene triggers, and some guy shows up like, hey, that's the Ebon Hawk, right? Yeah, that's my ship. I found it. Yeah, well, it's my ship. I literally have the papers for it. Oh, God, it's a bummer. Okay, you can have it. Oh, all right. No, thanks for being reasonable about this. So he runs off, and then you decide to follow back so you can at least get your stuff off of it first.
Right.
And maybe get Kreia. Well, he can keep Kreia if he wants, but you really need those 550 blasters.
Because the only thing we're sure about at this point in the game about Kreia is that none of us like her.
Yeah,
she's like Karth times a billion.
Yeah, but she tells you shouldn't trust her. She just tells you have no choice.
Yeah, Karth even gave you a choice. So Karth was it hurts saying that. Karth
the thing is, the thing is that Kreia says if Kreia dies, you die because of the Force bond. So you literally can't leave her alone. you have to make sure you have to like Final Destination prove her.
Right.
Anyway,
Kreia, don't go in that Applebee's.
Yeah. I'm not sure where the bomb is. It's closing time. There might be explosions. I don't know. Anyway, you go back and you find out the Ebon Hawk has been boarded by slavers because you landed on their parking spot. And the guy who owned Ebon Hawk immediately got iced by them. So, like, you have laid claim to B1 in the parking garage. Look, dude, if this is about money, I've had a really bad week. I really don't have time for this. I've been getting stronger in the Force every day because people keep feeding themselves to me. Like
I'm gold in StarCraft right now because everyone just keeps losing on purpose.
How about we move? No, I think we're going to enslave you. Oh, good luck. You kill them. Let's not even elaborate on it. They die, and then you walk outside again. The exchange, like, hey, we want to meet with you to discuss your grievances with the Applebee's company. Well, it's really the slavery thing, but I am willing to meet one-on-one with you. I'm like, well, good thing it's not a trap. Yeah, yes, Atten, I know it's a trap.
Good thing it ain't a trap.
Yeah, Atten, I know it's a trap. They're asking me to go to a bar that only aliens can breathe, and I'm not an alien. But
by the way, what the hell does alien mean in Star Wars?
Not human, basically.
Non-human, yeah.
There's a lot of racism. I apologize.
It's so terrible. I never thought of that.
So you go out alone to meet with this guy, and then like one of the bounty hunters, a cool bounty hunter who with a heart of gold and a lot of midriff. She shows up and says, look, before you go talk to the exchange, there's something we need to discuss. Okay, I can take you in a fight. So yeah, you can follow. I'll follow you down this dark alley, little young lady. And she knocks you out with knockout gas, and she takes your spacesuit and takes your place at the exchange meeting. And Hanhar, who she has, this is the mission of the game. Basically, she's not 14 though. She's like 23 or 24. She's younger.
So the Rule 34 stuff is slightly less disturbing.
Yeah.
Still disturbing, but
she has a weird mirror version of a relationship with Zalbar because her Wookiee does not like her Wookiee was enslaved once, and he considers life debt slavery. He broke his chains once, but then she saved his life, and now he's enslaved to her, and he hates her for it. So he's never going to be free until she's dead. He can't kill.
Ooh, what a poor guy.
Yeah, like he's basically driven insane by this
torment. Yeah, it's. Chris Avalon, who hurt you?
Yeah.
Man?
Anyway, Hanhar is basically working for the Hutt, who wants to kill the exchange. So that his crime family will be ascendant, and he's trying to work his way through through shady dealings and stuff. And he finds Mira, and he's like, "Rah, Mira, you saved my life. I'll never forgive you for that."
By the way, can I just say something? All this stuff that we've talked about, this is fucking Star Wars, by the way. That's why this game is such a gem. Like, name one other piece of Star Wars media that has stuff like a Wookiee going insane because he's life debted to someone he wants to kill.
You know... Okay, you know how Wookiees have a real cultural grievance about slavery and being indebted for lifetime to the service of another? I wonder how that might be perverted in the mind with a life debt, another cultural thing, and how that might lead to some reactionary views. Anyway, Mira winds up in the pit, the dueling pit with Hanhar. And Hanhar loses because there's mines all over the pit for some reason, and Mira has the cool ability to not trigger mines, so he just keeps walking into mines until he falls over. And then Visk, the crime boss, gets the bright idea to open the gates and let a bunch of other guards try to kill her. She kills her way through the guards and lets you inside the place.
So you're finally back in the spotlight.
Yeah. So you start killing your way to him, and he's like, man, we could work something out. We only want... And then, like, Goto, the guy who's been leading all this, like, hey, I understand you've been working with the Hutts. You want to explain yourself? Actually, don't bother. And then all of his guards turn on him and kill him. And then knockout gas, you get knocked out again. You wake up in space on his ship. And
Not high.
Not high. You didn't even use the good stuff.
This character just gets knocked around so
And,
hard in this game.
He's lucky in that he hasn't fallen off the 12-step process. But you know he
hasn't been given the chance to start one.
Yeah. Anyway, Goto actually does calmly and reasonably explain why he put a bounty on it. Look, I didn't want you dead. I specifically wanted you brought me alive because you're the only Jedi I know about.
Because that's what bounty hunters actually do.
Yeah.
They're not assassins. That's
Look,
why there's two different words.
For some reason, when I put the bounty out, some mysterious feminine voice went out on galactic radio and says, "Hey, I heard there's a Jedi coming into the galaxy on the Harbinger. Here's a hit with him in mind. Doom, doom, nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide, nowhere to hide." There's a bunch of Jedi come out of the Bronx with red lightsabers. My love, I'm running from. It's a heart that I know will come. There are a bunch of guys with baseball bats, Gamorreans sharpening axes. Twi'leks on a bus that's been torn apart. Just driving around, you're just like, God damn it, I hate this week. Anyway, then your friends organize a rescue, and they completely wreck Goto's ship right after you conclude a partnership with him. They blow up his ship. Like, okay, we both got to get out of here now. So you reconnoiter back on the Ebon Hawk, and you're like, okay, a lot of shit just happened. Let's just assess. Goto, are you cool with us ruining your crime organization? Yes, my only interest is in saving the Republic. That's rather altruistic of you for a crime boss.
This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, we're gonna one-on-one after I'm done one-on-oneing with everyone else, which is what you do after something big happens in this game.
Well, to be fair, that's just kind of a standard for these kind of RPGs.
Yeah. Anyway, you go talk to Goto and I've been rambling around Nar Shaddaa for a while now. A lot of droid stuff. And, I've learned that a droid can get away with just about anything. And, on Telos, there was this really hyper-advanced droid that just kind of wandered off. I'm just going to come straight with you. Are you a droid? Are you not? Is the hologram just the whole charade? And he just kind of stares at you dead-eyed. And if you've managed to impress him enough, he will say, you know what? Put yourself in the mind of a spherical floating fat droid. You are the greatest mind in the galaxy, and you have been told to save the Republic without violating any of its laws. You have to pick one. I chose to save the Republic. And that's what we're going to do, mister. So we're going to go to Dantooine and stabilize the situation there. Then we're going to go to Onderon, stabilize the situation there, and then we'll work from there. And you know what? I'll just pay you. I'm a little miffed that my crime organization that I built from the ground up over the last year or so just went tits up. But you know what? It is what it is. I still want to save the Republic because it's my programming.
As I am a droid.
So and Mira's with you now, and so you so you go talk to her, and she's taking up space in a cabinet next to HK-47, who still hasn't been fixed because you have to find parts all over the galaxy for it. So she's just hanging out, hey, yeah, I'm sorry about gassing you earlier. That's fine. Look, some ground rules. I think you're plenty handsome, but you're 32. I'm 25. Yeah. Why does everyone always assume that I want a BioWare romance? Sometimes I just want to strip naked and have a good fight. That's all. Are you Chani trained, by the way? I'm just saying. I'm the only. I feel. No, I don't have that training. I'm actually a Mandalorian. Oh, that's cool. We got some diversity here. Yeah,
a million Chani trained people in one Mandalorian.
Yeah. See, I feel like you and I can really get along because I don't have a Chani training either, and I feel kind of put out. Kreia says she's not a Chani trained, but that's pretty much dead ringer. And then you go talk to Kreia, and turns out, yeah, she will come out. If you just flat out say, okay, are you a Jedi? You're not a Jedi. Yes. I'm not you're not a Sith. What were you? Both. She was a Jedi. She never actually says, I am Aaron K. And you know what? That's actually honest of her. She's not Aaron K. Aaron K died in the Mandalorian Wars from a certain point of view.
I did tell you the truth from a certain point of view.
She ceased to become Aaron K. and became Darth Treya, Lord of Betrayal.
She's more bitch than woman now.
She held the galaxy by its throat, more powerful in the Force than any. She found something really cool in Malachor. And then she started training Scion and Nihilus, who were also veterans of the Malachor campaign, who also felt the shock that you felt, but took different paths. And, turns out they really hated Kreia just about as much as you do. So Nihilus shows up, strips her of her force powers, and she can't even move her lightsaber now. It's really kind of sad because suddenly she's just a frail old woman, and Scion just walks up, gut punches her, takes her by the face, slams her against the concrete, and then picks her up, does the same thing again, and it's uncomfortable.
It's very graphic. Yes, I remember this.
Yeah.
Who hurt you, Chris Avalon?
So,
Avalon.
So then she just comes straight with you. Look, you and I, we both lost our connection to the Force, and we've both been through a lot of stuff that no one else can really relate to. That's what I see in you. I think we can build something better. I am not Darth Treya. I am not Aaron K. I am Kreia.
That's so fair. It seems so fair when it's put that way.
So, you don't really know what her goal is, but you understand why she is where she is now. Fair enough. And
that's what happens when we talk to each other, folks.
Yeah.
That's what happens when we open dialogue.
So you're off Nar Shaddaa. You decided to go to Dantooine. Well, no, before you go to leave Nar Shaddaa, 12-step program. You gotta go talk to the Jedi that's on Nar Shaddaa because he's finally willing to talk to you, and just be transparent. Look, man, I know we didn't leave on the best of terms. I understand that my decision to leave the war hurt you. I just want you to understand why, and that I'm trying to be better. Okay, we're meeting on Dantooine when all this is over, okay? Fair enough? All right, cool. We'll see you later, Mr. Handlebar Mustache. Anyway, you go to Dantooine, and
which is much, much nicer than Nar Shaddaa.
Yeah. It also got the Telos treatment, but not quite as much. It was a targeted campaign because the Sith also wanted the Jedi artifacts. And
Dantooine is the capital of the Jedi at the time, isn't it?
There are no Jedi really to be capital.
No, I mean, KOTOR.
I think it's Coruscant, and Dantooine is just like a really important place. It's like New York City.
Yeah, because I know several terrorists even had a Jedi council
not
before.
Not in size, but in importance. Yeah. Anyway, people on Dantooine really don't like the Jedi because the Jedi brought the Sith, and the Sith destroyed them. So if you walk outside, you're and pretty quickly you meet a salvager like, oh, goddamn Jedi, gotta fix everything they broke. I hate every one of them. Like, oh yeah, I hate those Jedi. You hide your lightsaber, pull out a blaster.
Can't stand them Jedi.
It's a gameplay mechanic. If he sees you with a lightsaber, he will rat on you, and everyone on the planet will hate you.
Snitch.
So you walk out onto the starport, and a protocol droid from when you were a student shows up. Like, hey, this thing's still walking around. Let me repair. I'm like, greetings, Jedi. Wait, that thing say you were a Jedi? No. Yeah. Is there anything I can do for you, Jedi? Yes, I heard it. It's calling you a Jedi. God damn it! Look, this droid, it's messed up, man. I'm not a Jedi. Okay.
I'm Toydarian. Mind tricks don't work on me. Only money.
So, why do you hate the Jedi? You know, Jedi, they're just as bad as the Sith, man. What? I don't like the Jedi. Look, I have a lot of problems with the Jedi, man. That's kind of a strong statement to just, make them equivalent. How can you say that the Dark Jedi and the Jedi are the exact same? Well, think about it. Like the Dark Jedi, it's right there in the party's name. Dark Jedi, National Socialist. I'm a reasonable centrist, and you see, I don't take sides in this war between the Jedi and the Dark Jedi.
I don't take sides in this war between people who want mass extinction and people who, in fact, do not.
Yeah, well, you do you, man. I'm gonna go talk to whoever's in charge here,
of the not Jedi.
Yeah, and the Kunda militia. There's a little farming community, and there's a mayor. She says, "Hey, you're a Jedi, right? Oh God, please don't tell anyone. I really can't I can't wake up in the ground not high again. Just leave me alone. Look, okay, I want your help. There's another Jedi here. He's a really cool guy. Wait a minute. Really cool guy. You're not talking about Vrook. He's not a cool guy.
He's not cool at all.
I have it on the highest authority. He is not a cool guy. Look, he's helping us. Okay, he's okay. He's a Jedi. He is probably helpful when he wants to be. So yeah, he got kidnapped by mercenaries. You need to go save him. Okay, I'll do that right after I go to the Jedi Temple to loot it. So you go to the Jedi Temple, and it turns out that a lot of people died there. It's kind of sad. And you help this one guy out of a locked door. Interesting thing about Goto, he's not really a popular party member, because he's a droid, for one thing, and he's evil, and he's kind of a dick. But if you have him in the party with you when you rescue this guy, he will try to sell you what he found, and Goto will start negotiating for you. Under Dantooine Civil Code 405, we are legally eligible to sell you into slavery. So your estimated value is 5,000 credits, sir. I recommend you knock off that price from your asking price. Like, Goto, what the fuck? And he just immediately gives in. You don't get dark side points for it because it's Goto doing it.
That's an interesting little loophole.
Like he will exploit loopholes for you in business transactions. So it's helpful to
in game mechanics.
Yeah. So if you're ever going to negotiate with someone, bring Goto along. Basically, he's hardcore. Anyway, you do finally rescue Vrook from the mercenaries. He's like, you idiot! You rescued me. You have any idea what this means? Dude,
no.
You're the master here.
I didn't even want to. That mayor lady told I was going to let you die.
Okay, the mercenaries are probably going to attack Kunda now because they lost me. Well, they're probably going to do that anyway. Fair enough. Let's just go and see if we can help them out. And basically, your job is to bolster the defenses and recruit people into the militia. And after a somewhat exciting battle, you free Dantooine from the mercenaries, and they get like a sense of national purpose, basically. They start to rebuild. And Vrook says, okay, I'll meet you for your little Jedi conclave. I understand there's at least one other guy. Wait, Atrus? What do you mean, Atrus? She died on that planet with all the other Jedi. No, she never went. Wait. No, she's dead. No, she's dead. No, she was not at the planet. Huh. Okay, agree to disagree, I guess. All right, off to the next planet. So, at this point, you're rolling with a lot of cool party members because a Sith assassin is on the Ebon Hawk with a lightsaber. She was sent by Darth Nihilus, who felt your presence in the Force, or rather your
absence
in the Force. Ooh. And you beat her pretty easily because it turns out gameplay mechanics, you're supposed to have a confined spot, but if you're like me and run away from fights a lot, you can lead her throughout the Ebon Hawk and get and just like tag team her with the entire crew. So next, the game cuts to her in the med bay. Like, okay,
woke up not high.
Yeah, dude, she's a Miraluka. She can only see through the Force, and then you talk to her like, I can see through the Force, but not very well. You see. My people, I used to be a lot better at it, but then you see my entire planet died around me, and it left a wound. Oh yeah, it's funny how that happens. You know. There's a lot of that going around in this little merry crew of ours. A lot of broken, sad sacks. Welcome aboard, Visas Mar. Now it's very important that you have fought Handmaiden into trust, because if she does not trust you 100%, she will start getting very, very jealous about you talking to Visas at all. Because Visas is an ex-Sith who has sworn herself to you because she has a personal connection to you because you have a similar experience. Handmaiden will start getting very jealous, and you can actually be locked out of trading her as a Jedi. If you talk to Visas Mar too much, Kreia will start whispering sweet nothings. She's got it wrapped around her thumb. Yeah, I heard him. I heard him at night doing things. What kind of things? Fighting? Yes.
Were they fighting?
Yes, they were Ichani style fighting all night long. He only did that with me.
Did you see his eye this morning? Black eye.
It's true. I'll never trust again. Carthonasi was right. Anyway, we didn't do that because you were smart and did all that.
Beat the shit out of
So,
the
Handmaiden has some trust in you. She's willing to tolerate you talking to another girl in her presence.
So long as you keep getting beat up and beating up her.
And Mira will actually give relationship advice, too. It's kind of awkward and really BioWare, but, whatever. It's a little BioWare leakage.
Yeah, Obsidian does have a little BioWare
But
overflow.
I do appreciate that, Mira being the one to, straight up, lay ground rules. Look, I'm legal, but that doesn't mean we have to do anything. I mean...
I love that had gotten so bad in these games at this point that the characters would literally have to, no!
Yeah,
no!
Look, I'm 32. I listen to grunge, and you're into this pop stuff, and that's fine. We're different generations. We don't have to... like each other that way. You can still be in the crew. This is a function.
Look, I play Halo, and you sit around talking about Quake 3 all day.
Look, and by the way, you're a Jedi now. I am? Yeah, you're Force sensitive, and we talked.
And fought.
Yeah. Okay, here's your lightsaber and your junior Jedi badge. Welcome to the party. The Jedi party. So now you got another Jedi, well, ex-Sith, but she uses the Force, so it's still cool. And you decide, you know what, we've had a hard couple of weeks, guys. Let's go to Onderon. It's a jungle, it's a vacation planet. There's a Jedi there, apparently. And the Goto kind of wants to go there for some reason. Let's just mellow out, crack a few cold ones. Just go to Onderon. And then Atton's like, yeah, this is the best idea you've had, man. It's been so long since we just kicked back and enjoyed ourselves. Oh, shit, it's a DUI checkpoint. Wait, what? The Onderon fleet is just blockading everything. They're checking ships. Dude, I'm way over the limit. We can't do this. If they board us, we're doomed. Okay.
I'll never work again.
Okay, Duxon is right there. I fought a guerrilla war here in the war. I can hide us. We can hide from the cops. Just act natural. Don't attract attention. You and the Ebon Hawk, stop right there. Oh shit, gun it, dude. I'll man the turrets.
Eastbound.
Load up and truck. So you tear ass through this space asphalt road.
Bootlegger turns.
You hit gravel, and you crank up the bass, and make the police eat it because they can't find you anymore. You land in the middle of the jungle, and turns out the space battle just broke out over this, but it's not your problem. Duxon is not Onderon. It's a moon that shares an atmosphere somehow. It's basically the forest moon of a forest planet. And it's like, okay, guys, this is not the plan. I admit our party plans have gone awry. But, there's some Mandalorians up the road here. And like, whoa, the people you fought, don't worry, man. The war is long over. They're as sick of all this shit as I am. We'll just hang with them. We'll chill.
It's going to be cool, okay?
Yeah, so you fight your way through the forest, and the Mandalorian's like, wait, you're that Jedi who defeated us. You're really cool. Yeah, you can crash on our couch any day. All right, Atton, you...
You son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch! All right, Atton, you and Atton, Bowdur, you guys stay here with the Ebon Hawk and keep the cold ones cold, repair the engines, and Visas, you and Handmaiden, you come with me. We're going to work some things out, and we're just going to, crash on the Mandalorians, and we're just going to have a good, gay old time here. So, Mandalorian's camp is a little bit run down. Like, Mandalore is here. Sounds really familiar. Mandalore of... hi. So, you meet Mandalore. He's really cool. He's got a really cool helmet. And you're like, hi, I'm Mandalore. I'm Candelore. Candelore Odo of Mandalore. I'm the head cat in charge of this cool bunch of guys here. If you want to prove your worth, you want to roll with the big dogs. Why don't you prove your worth to us? Okay, you got like a battling ring? I've gotten pretty good at combat lately. Yeah.
I'm beating the hell out of this girl every day.
Dude, you beat the shit out of everyone. You're the coolest guy we know. Like, okay, we've also got our relay dish is just messed up, man. Can you fix it? Yeah, I can fix it. Oh, great. Now we got Netflix. We can finally watch the She-Ra reboot. I'm even off in the back. Catcher's my bay. Handmaiden's like, man, what is it with fucking Mandalorians and cat girls? Like, dude, it's this whole thing. Look, just don't bring it up. Don't look.
You don't want to know.
On the list of planets that were genocided, they were not one of them. So let's just leave it at that. So you like, hey man, we need a lift to Onderon. Apparently, we'd like a low key. Liquor store closes at 12. I mean, yeah, beer run. That's I knew I liked you. All right, guys, going on a beer run. And then, like, wait a minute, something's not right in this here camp. Something's afoot. Bunch of Sith decloak, and there's a big battle. Like, what's going on? Mandalore, talk to me. Oh, it's the Sith from the Sith camp down the block.
They think they're so great.
They hate the new Shira. She's not sexualized enough for these perverts. She's too realistically built. They can't accept that this is a show for girls and muscly, burly Mandalorians.
They did the same thing when we were watching My Little Pony last week.
They profess love for the 80s show and don't accept that it was incredibly gay, too. Man, I hate these guys more. Wait, these are Sith. Why do I need more excuses to hate them? Anyway, we'll deal with that later. Beer run comes first.
Because I ain't fighting them sober.
So, unfortunately, I am now in your party. What do you mean, unfortunately? Bros come before hoes, man.
That's the code.
So, Visas, Handmaiden, you're cool with this, right? Yeah, she's stronger with the Force. That's why I'm taking her. She can do Force things with beer. I don't know. You stay here.
She can keep him cold. She can keep him cold for 1 hour outside the cool. I swear to God, I've seen her do it.
Handmaiden. Handmaiden, there is a fighting ring right over there. It's got your name on it. I expect to see your name on the leaderboards when I get back. All right. So, you've definitely dealt with a lot of personal issues right there. You go to Onderon, and Mandalore's like, I got on in with a beer, and apparently there's a Jedi on this planet. Oh, I was looking for a Jedi. It's a great day for America. So you go down, and apparently this planet is just rife with Brexiteers. The Republic has done nothing for us but protect us from Mandalorian, Sith, and built roads. We don't need anything from them. Like, guys, look, I don't want anything to do with your little protest here. Can you just point me in the direction of the nearest liquor store and or Applebee's? I'm not sure what urge I need to satisfy right now.
Do you need to fight? I'm good on fighting.
I'm fighting. Dude, believe me. Also, if you know a Jedi, Jedi, that's if you want to talk to a Jedi, you need to talk to Dagon Gent. Oh, he's our beer connect. It's great. Things are really shaping up.
Everything's coming up
exile. So you go, hey, if you want to talk to Dagon Gent, he's been nabbed by the police. Oh, was he selling without a license? No, murder. Man.
Whoa.
This is about,
Whoa.
Oh, Visas, you were a lawyer before you were a Sith, right? What makes you think that? You see with the Force. I mean, I assume it's a lawyer thing. Okay.
You do that beer thing with the Force.
Okay, Mandalore, we'll figure this out. He's your friend. He's your connect. You know him. So you go to the cantina, like, okay, did Dagon Gent do it? No. Well, he was there. They were fighting, but they were just joshing around. They had no reason to kill each other. So you prove his innocence through a bunch of things.
It's very convoluted. I remember that. Yeah.
Let's just keep going here because we're on a roll here.
Right.
Dagon Gent's like, yeah, I got your beer, man. Why don't you just kick back in that corner, and while you're at it, I'll contact your Jedi friend. And then it cuts to a cutscene in the palace, and Queen Talia is talking about, man, these anti-Republic protesters really want us to secede. It's going to be terrible for our economy, but, they really, really like this military leader. He's an asshole cousin of mine, Vaklu. He may or may not be connected with the Sith. We don't know. He is.
He absolutely is.
So the Jedi comes to you and agrees to meet you in a bar because this Jedi Master, he was your master. He was your teacher. He's the cool professor.
The backwards chair guy.
Like,
the backwards chair.
meet me at the cantina. We'll hash this out. Okay, that sounds good. That sounds like nothing could possibly go wrong. Let's just meet two obvious Jedi dressed as Jedi in a planet that doesn't like Jedi, like all planets.
At this moment in galactic history.
Yeah. So you meet at the bar, and like, okay, let's hash this out. Ha! I found you, Jedi. Oh shit! Bolt. So you bolt deploy force powers, and just run. You make a beeline for your shuttle. You get off the planet. Like, okay, guys, there's a civil war that broke out. We might have been kind of responsible, but it was gonna happen anyway. Brexit was inevitable. It's not our fault. Brass tacks, we probably should put some miles between us and this place, just for now. Mandalore, you want to come with? Dude, we've got so many cold ones.
And I still haven't seen what that chick does with Force and beer.
Oh, and there's also Mandalorians that have turned down the wrong path. I'm going to lead them to the light. We're going to go around. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, all right, we did that. Let's go to Korriban. Apparently there's another Jedi there for some reason.
Korriban.
So you land on Korriban, like, man, this place sucks. You said there was a bar here. Yeah, my bad.
Those guys with the joke, those guys that like jokes aren't there
anymore.
Dude,
there's nothing, like, there's just a bunch of dead people. What happened? What happened? There's just graffiti that says #TooFunny.
Too funny.
I don't know what was funny, but apparently it was killer. So you,
Roger, don't you know what happens when you can't stop laughing?
So you go through the academy and pick through the ruins of the first game, pretty much. Yeah. And you find a sealed room, and if you made Revan Darkside, there is a Sith holocron that has a message from Bastila on it.
Really?
Yeah.
You could import your save?
No.
Affect that?
At the very beginning of the game, you have an argument with Atten over what happened in the first game.
Oh, and that decides what happened? Okay.
That's like, really what are you talking about? Atten was a female. And Darkside.
That's really a clever, yeah, I like that.
Like, look, I'm just trying to avoid all this, man. Look, I've been away for a while, but I'm pretty sure I heard she was a chick. And evil as hell.
I totally forgot about that. It's been a long time.
Anyway, big thing here. Two big things. Jedi's dead. And the person who killed her is Scion, and you find out why he's so terrifying. Every time you cut off his head, he just like puts it back on. Every time you shock him into ash, he just reconstitutes, because he is driven by pain. The pain is the emotion, his emotional tie to the Force. So every time you hurt him, he becomes stronger. That's a Metal
Gear boss. That is such a Metal Gear Solid boss.
As long as he feels anger and pain and anger, which leads to anger and pain.
That's how you defeat him. You give him the one thing that won't cause pain and anger. You throw him a bush light, and he goes, "No, your joy."
Fortunately, Scion still has emotional hang-ups with Kreia, his old master, if you haven't figured that out by now. So she says, Scion, well, stop messing with my favorite boy. The exile, he's better than you. Much better than you.
And always has been.
He has two chicks hanging off his shoulders.
With one that is saying she doesn't want to hang on his shoulder so much, you but just know she does.
Let's face it, everyone wants him, but BioWare is actually being written by Obsidian this time. So while Scion is confused as hell, you run and just seal the door behind you, and then on the way back, like, wait, this is a Force cave. There's some cool stuff in here, I bet. You find Cartho Nassi's son. He's dead.
Really?
He's dead.
No, like, is that real?
Remember we didn't talk about Cartho Nassi's son that you could just straight up murder in the first game? If in KOTOR 2, if you pick a certain Revan, Dustil Onassi came back to Korriban to prove himself, and he got lost in the Force cave, and he went insane and killed and died.
Chris, come on.
And
hey, Karth, but this is harsh. That was his boy, Chris.
Admittedly, in the first game, you could have Karth kill him. He's irredeemable carve. Look at him being all Sith over there. Crawling in, my Sith. These wounds. Yeah.
I am finding out so much more about KOTOR than I ever knew.
Okay, so
Can't stand it.
okay, so you go into the Force Cave, and like Kreia is like, your weapons. You might want to take them.
Yoda's like, your weapons, you will not need them. Kreia's like, yes, hell yes.
You're gonna need them. So you
don't have enough, really.
So you walk in alone, as per your instructions, and Malik's there. Young Malik. He's young. He's hip. He's cool. He's taller than everyone. You can see why he was so awesome.
He's got that cool shaved side of the head.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, he's
and,
Starbucks.
He's saying like, look, guys, Mandalorians are just wrecking shit, and they're just not going to stop. I'm not saying the Jedi aren't wise. I'm just saying they're being overly cautious. We need to do something now. And one by one, the people beside you, your old friends, start going over to him. And you know that's exactly what you did. This is the moment you decide, was this a mistake? Or is it just wrong to question your actions? And it's actually really deep. Like
it's extremely deep.
It doesn't really mean that much. You don't really get force points generally from this. Light side points, dark side points. This is just be honest with yourself.
So cool in a video game.
Like it was a mistake. I should never have done it. Or yes, I did it. I'd do it again. It's what made me who I am. I still didn't turn to the dark side, so I've got that. Why are you trying to guilt trip me over this? And like eventually all the Bastila goes over to him, which is interesting because you can actually call it out. That's not what happened. But then the Force Cave like basically starts overplaying its hand. This isn't just what happened. There's a force out here trying to mess with you. So the next place you go into the Force Cave, you come up on one of your battles. A bunch of Republic soldiers are arrayed before a minefield, and basically they're saying, we can't advance. Our support has been shot down. We have no artillery. Please, just tell us if we attack, will it mean something? And basically it says it was important. It might not have been important. Or the only people who mattered were Jedi. You get your meat shields. Just get used to it. You can say anything you want. Or you can say, look, I should have gone first. I should have gone ahead of you guys. I'm sorry. And then, like, that's your choice there. And then you go up on Kreia, and it's interesting because Kreia is full dark side in this vision. And
so it's Vision Kreia, not literal
Vision
Kreia.
Okay. Yeah. Like, at first you think,
I
hey,
can't remember.
Kreia, it's good. But then she's in a dark side robe, and then all your friends come out. It's like, Kreia's fallen to the dark side. Yeah, I kind of get that feeling. But that she's also not hurting anyone. We can try to redeem her. That's the light side thing to do. And this is one of the bigger ones. Do you say, I'm going to defend Kreia against literally everyone because she deserves a chance to be redeemed and she hasn't actually initiated this conflict? Or I'm going to side with my friends against Kreia because I don't trust her? The game is demanding that you make a choice here, though. If you make no choice, if you say, this is just a vision, this doesn't matter, it's not my fight, dude, this is your mind.
Right.
This is your head.
This is only your fight.
This is your conscience. If you're saying this isn't your fight, you're lying to yourself. If you do that, Kreia says apathy is death, and all your friends turn and stare at you and say apathy is death. Centrism is a lie. Take a stand, you dumbass. And once you get past that, you find Revan. And there is no dialogue that is reverent about Revan. And it's really cool. I love it because it's a hint. It's one of many hints, and it's a digression. All of your, like, oh, the great Revan shows himself at last, or herself. In the SWTOR, the Exile is canonically a fanboy of Revan. I dislike that. The Force Cave has just shown us it was not Revan, but Malik that convinced us to go to war. Revan put all the people he didn't like in the fleet that got attacked at Malachor 5 as bait. Who was in charge of that fleet?
Oh my god!
HK-47 spells this out. Revan was cleaning house. All the Jedi who wouldn't have turned to the dark side. Why did so many Jedi turn to the dark side? Because all the Jedi who survived were already basically there. And SWTOR doesn't just like, oh, he was always so cool, just misunderstood. Dude, I don't care that they made you female canonically. That's not the issue. I like the I don't like the romance option for female, but okay. But god damn it, it was so cool to have the main characters of two different games hate each other, or at least not like each other.
Yeah, that was really, and that just makes so much more sense.
And it's not spelled out. It's like a lot of the things in this game are inferred, like the Applebee's thing.
It's inferred. It's inferred that it's not illegal.
You have to piece it together.
Right. You're not going to find that in legal code.
Yeah, so
you're going to find it in life.
You finally confront Revan, and a dark side version of yourself is at his side, which shows what could have been a choice you didn't make. Then you get a call from Mandalorian camp. Hey, we found where those Sith guys have been hanging. If you're done with your other Jedi thing on Korriban, let's finish this. We're going to show them the reboot is a spiritual successor and in a fabulous show. And we can't wait for season 3. Mandalore, season 2 of She-Ra just dropped, and they found Sith. I respect your feelings. What do you want to do first, dude? Dude, you know, Scorpia's my bae, man.
The term is waifu.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. So you go back to Duxon, and you find out that things have gotten a little bad. You got Brexit to deal with, and you got the Sith. You got the fascists that are leading Brexit, and the dupes on Onderon that need to be shown the right path and restored to the rightful lord of the Republic-favored planet. But you can't do this. You can't be in two places at once. So KOTOR 2 forms two parties. You need to find out which person you trust the most, who has grown the strongest under your leadership, to attack Sith base. And it could be anyone. Kreia will make commentary.
Can you even pick the droid? Can you do that?
I don't think the droid can lead, but he can be a part of it. Mandalore can't lead it, I think. Usually, generally speaking, you want Jedi so you can have heal. So you need people you've trained as a Jedi, or if you haven't trained anyone as a Jedi, you have to have Visas in the party.
Right.
Otherwise, it becomes a slog. So they attack the Sith base, and there's a Sith temple there. There's places in this temple that your Padawan basically will be forced with choices of their own. Light side, dark side choices. Do you bask in the power of the dark side, or do you stick by what the exile says and just, pop a Coors Light and not really bother anyone?
I'm not into labels, bro. I'm not into labels.
So you
said that black label, brother. You know what I'm saying, huh?
So you confront the Sith like, you are strong in the Force, but trained by a hapless sort, I imagine. Imagine he wakes up without knowing where he is quite a bit.
And isn't even high when he does so.
Yeah, the dark side has shown you much, but it has not shown you this. Mandalore, do the thing. Like, this is for Catcher, you sons of bitches. Anyway, the Sith are dead, and it turns out, by the way, and then like a Mandalorian scout shows up, by the way, here's what's happening on Onderon, and it's just you tearing through the streets, like, yeah, this is late game fight, I'm having so much fun, all the mechanics are just coming together so well, that's a game-ending bug, okay, had to save, back at it. Hey, it's that hacker from earlier, okay, you're going to prison, brother, but, I believe in you, I think you can turn it around. Just do your 2 years. Like I did my exile. You can do your exile. We'll meet, have a cold one after this. Okay. All right. Good. All right. You kill Vaklu. You defeat Vaklu, and Queen Talia insists on killing him because she's actually pretty smart for, like, she's played up as a demure, compromising, appeasing queen. Like, she's so liberal, does whatever the Republic wants. She doesn't have the backbone to do what needs to be done. You'll never kill me. Kill him. And then, like, the Jedi who's there is like, dude, that's not the Jedi. I'm not a Jedi. Kill him. Bring out my guillotine. You have one? That's so cool. And here's a bunch of cool Jedi artifacts. And here's your heart-to-heart with the Jedi. Yeah, man. Like, I didn't expect you to turn on me. I'm just going to say it. That hurt. You could have at least let me crash on your couch or explain to me what I did wrong. Dude, bro, you're right. It wasn't just that you defied us. You did come back. There was something about you we didn't understand, and we were scared. We weren't ready. Well, I'll go to Dantooine. We'll talk this out with all the other Jedi, and we'll sort through this Sith problem. You know what? Fair enough, man. Kreia, we're going to Dantooine, aren't we? Yes, your journey is coming to an end. You go to Dantooine.
It's so emotional at this point.
It actually is.
It's so
The game
emotional.
is slowing down because they ran out of writer's budget, so there's no more funsy dialogue.
Chris got all of his emotional pain on the first
At this
act.
point, the game is literally starting to fall apart because this is where the cutscene, the cut content really starts. It feels like a really fun adventure, but like the temple you've been exploring is falling apart. You need to start really rushing.
It's
But not this part, though.
not this part.
The Jedi Temple has been rebuilt. You walk inside. There is you see the tree from the first game. It's blackened husk. It's just a stump. But there's two smaller ones that have grown up beside it. There's a hole in the ceiling giving them light. And
It's like the baby Deku tree and
Pretty much.
Link the Ocarina
now
of Time.
we've ragged on Kreia quite a bit, but we up until how familiar are you with the facism ratio? It's kind of obscure. It's a psychological thing. If they found that if you show someone a portrait from the shoulder up, you focus on their mental or personality. Kreia has that in spades. She's intimidating when she talks to you. You feel like she's your mom because she acts like it. The camera work in this scene is different than anything else in the game. It zooms out. It never shows her up close. She's bent down. She's bent over. She's feeling her way with her only hand to a seat by underneath the tree, and she slowly settles herself. She's ancient. She's old. She's frail, and she's been on a long journey just like you. This is all shown and not told to us.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
We finally see Kreia as a person right before she has her big character moment, which is tied to yours. And she says, you need to go alone. This is for you and you alone. But never doubt what you have done, no matter what they say to you. Don't doubt yourself. I'm proud of you, kiddo. Thanks, Mom. So you go to meet the Jedi Council. At first you think, okay, every one of these guys has been relatively reasonable as long as I got them away from Fox News for a while. But now they've all been on their own.
Watching Fox News.
Together, getting angry at the Exile channel. The Exile is running illegal immigrants and drugs into the community, and his wound in the Force may kill it.
The Exile was pictured this morning on the White House lawn in a tan suit. Do you remember the tan suit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know Darth Nihilus, the guy who eats planets? We haven't seen the Exile do it, but it does make you think, does it? So this conversation does not go very well, to be fair. You try to reason with them. Look, Kavar, we talked about this. You know why I went to war. I didn't. You know why I came back. I can feel the Force. I don't know how, but I haven't killed any planets lately. Okay, Paragus I'll give you, but that was an accident, and I didn't eat it. Okay, maybe you're not exactly like Nihilus, but we can't risk you being like that. So we're going to cut you off from the Force, and you can be okay with it. You can just say, okay, if that will make you happy, if that will calm you down and let you focus on the Sith. Oh, we're not going to focus on the Sith. We're going to go right back to doing jack shit. Guys, please, don't make Atrus the reasonable one here. Don't do it.
Remember her, by the way.
I'm in a bad headspace. I'm really coming down, man. And then, they start cutting you off from the Force, and they all fly really viscerally back into the wall. Kreia walks out. She's no longer old. Whatever energy she has, she's investing in herself, and she's screaming at the top of her lungs at the Jedi Council like a mother dog, basically.
A wolf.
She is like, Jesus Christ, look at this guy shows you a path without the Force, and you don't even stop to consider it. He is proof that we don't need this shit, man. Like, I thought you had died in the Mandalorian Wars. Oh, die? No. Yeah, you They never actually say Aaron K. That's entirely up to you to put that together.
Right. The game literally never says it.
They just say, hey, it's a woman who got exiled and died in the Mandalorian Wars or something. But I didn't die. I grew stronger from my experiences. And this is, I dusted over it, but when the council was talking about the things that happened to you at Malachor 5, they said you were broken, and then it cuts to Kreia, you were whole. You were blinded, you saw, you were deafened, and at last you could hear.
It's so intense.
So good.
So good.
It's not that you lost something, it's that you finally saw the world as it really was without the Force having its little will upon you. And it's like you can agree with her or not, but it's a philosophy that is her own, and she stands for it, or tries to anyway. And she just wants, she eventually does to the Jedi Council what they were going to do to you. She cuts them off from the Force, and they can't handle it. They immediately die. People think she kills them. She doesn't. She didn't want the Jedi Council to die. If you kill the Jedi Council, she gets angry with you. Like, this was supposed to be her thesis statement. Right. This is her doctoral degree. She was going to, you are living proof that everything that I believe is right. So good.
It's extremely good.
So she goes with Plan B. If they can't be convinced to live without the Force, I will make everyone live without it. Handmaiden, I killed the Jedi Council, and your friend is dead. Take me to Atrus. So, yeah. All roads lead to Atrus, don't they? Guess there's one final demon from our past we have to confront. So you go to Telos, and you go to Atrus, and Handmaiden has her little moment where she has to fight her sisters and prove how cool she's gotten. But then Atrus comes out and Force Lightnings her, which is kind of a dead giveaway that Atrus is...
the Force Lightning is always what spells it out. Yep.
Atrus says...
Unlimited power!
Did you look upon him with love? He only has eyes for me, you know it. Oh, Atrus, and then you show up, Atrus, you're finally being honest with yourself, aren't you? No, you're the Sith here. I'm a Jedi. I'm a good person. I'm a born-again Christian.
I'm the real Jedi.
I have a personal connection with Jesus. He's okay with everything I do. And if I ever... I'm not saying I'm perfect, but he's forgiven me. He'll never forgive you. You're a Sith. Kreia, Atrus... I love the scene where Atrus actually turns. Well, she doesn't turn. She was a Sith when you met her, in denial. Right. When Kreia shows up, it is such a quiet thing to fall. Far more terrible is to admit it.
Man, that's a killer. I forgot about that's a killer line.
How many New York liberals are angry at illegal immigrants? Not New York liberals as in real people. I mean upper class people who pretend to be liberal because that is the thing that makes them look good.
That assuages their guilt.
Literal virtue signaling.
Right.
Used correctly in the academic sense. It's the rich liberal person who is okay with Puerto Ricans as long as they don't see them.
Right.
And that is Atrus to a T. She is a Jedi as long as she is never confronted with a romance she is not allowed to consummate. And as long as she is never asked to actually challenge her views or fight or challenge the dark side within herself. So the minute she sees the dark side within herself, she gives in without even knowing it.
That is such a well-written villain. That is such an amazingly written villain.
So you walk in like, Atrus, you and me right now, we're having it out. We're going to hash out our style. We're going to hash it out. You strip off your clothes, Ichani style. I have been training my entire game for this moment.
I have been training my entire past 2 weeks.
So you hand her ass, and she runs off to her meditation chamber for round 2. And you're like, and at this point, you run through the threshold like, okay, Atrus, you and I, we're gonna. Oh my God, Atrus, what have you done to yourself? This is that Mein Kampf? Why are you reading Mein Kampf? Why is Mein Kampf, the essays of Pat Buchanan, and the Reagan diaries all hissing at me?
Is that Birth of a Nation on DVD?
Why is it screening on repeat? Oh, it's the HD version. Oh, wait, Atrus, what? Like, this is the knowledge. This is the knowledge that the Jedi need to survive. I have learned from the contract. No, you didn't. You gave into the dark side. You didn't even try to study this. You just accepted it. You didn't refute that. You're not, dude. Atrus, you're not debating. You're platforming. There's a difference. You need to understand this. Come on, you were better than this. You were so cool. What? Oh my God, I did it, didn't I? I left for the war and you couldn't do it. You wanted to come with me and I totally didn't. I didn't respect your feelings at all. I'm so sorry. So you do finally let her calm down. She's like, okay, Nihilus is coming. You know that feminine voice that let out that message on the galactic radio? It sent everyone in the galaxy to kill you. That was me. I'm sorry. This was all my plan. It all went tits up. I really thought I was doing the right thing. I'm sorry. So you do go to fight Nihilus, and oh, I'm trying to speed this up. I'm sorry.
No, for a game with so much content,
this is
there's a lot
KOTOR
of content.
There's a big battle. Mandalorian, your bros, the Mandalorians show up to help wreck shit. There's one last Applebee's that hasn't been burned down. And you've got 4 proton cores with their names on it. But regional manager, Darth Nihilus, devourer of 10 o'clock specials.
Because he rose this Applebee's up from running in the red to being a regional award winner.
So you meet, so Visas meets with her old master. You meet with the mirror character of what you could have become if you had approached your difficulties, your post-war PTSD, just a little bit in war unhealthily. And he says nothing. Like, you've come to Telos seeking the finest ingredients. You seek a good consumer base. Well, there's nothing here. You will find nothing. This is an unprofitable venture, sir. You have doomed your career with this move. You deny it, but seek to feed. He seeks to feed. I have no force connection, you idiot. I don't like Applebee's.
2 for $20 only sounds like a good deal. It's actually extremely overpriced for what you get.
So it
isn't. It's good.
His unchecked. He has been so consumed by the profit model that nothing ever else mattered to him. He lost his humanity. Visas goes up, takes his mask from him, like he's, dude, this is just a man, but he lost himself so thoroughly. It's kind of scary. He just dissolves. He eats himself away. You escape and you meet Karth, and he's like, "Hey, have you seen Revan?" "No." If you see her, can you tell her I said hi? "Yeah, sure, man." Yeah, I'll do that.
Is that I don't remember. Does that actually happen?
Yeah, if you make Revan light side and female, he will be the romance option. He will be there and talk to her that way.
Really?
So you go to Malachor 5, where it all began, because that's where Kreia obviously went. And that's where Sion obviously is. She has Sion likes to talk a lot about being free of Kreia, but you never really break free of your parents.
Ooh.
She has that hold.
Yep.
And it's a very abusive one in his case. And he's very jealous of you because you're the golden child. You embody her ideals more than he ever could. So when you finally meet Sion, he's like, "I'm going to kill you and I'm going to prove that I'm stronger than you." Like, dude, we don't have to fight. You and I, we're not brothers, but we're bros. You need to understand what Kreia wants. She doesn't want Applebee's. I thought I didn't need Applebee's, but maybe this whole thing I've been going on about Applebee's, maybe I just need to stop and chill out. But her, you thrive on Applebee's, man. As long as Applebee's is around, you can't die. But you'll never be yourself. You'll just be Applebee's. It'll be Applebee's will. You need to learn to control your Applebee's, and you can't do that without dying. You need to free yourself. Let go. Just let go. McDonald's is right there. I am glad to leave this place at long last. Farewell, brother. Okay, Mom. We need to talk. You finally come to the place I wanted to show you. Look, this is where you will rule the galaxy. You will build a new Jedi Order without the Force. You will teach the world to live without Applebee's. Look, I've learned a lot over the last 3 weeks, and I've learned that Applebee's does not deserve the hate I have been giving it. There are so many other things that need to be burned down. Applebee's has its problems. The Jedi, they have their problems. The Force, yeah, it kind of has a really perverted sense of balance. And yeah, I don't need it. But that doesn't mean we need to just kill the galaxy over it. Yeah, well, I really appreciate you trying to talk me down. It really means a lot that you still love me. I like you, okay? Yeah, we're on positive terms, but you know what I am. I'm an Achani. I am a teacher. I have one last thing to teach you, and the only way an Achani teaches is through combat. So she gives you a boss fight to complete your training, and you kill her. You cut off her other hand, and she's out of hands. But she's got one more trick up her sleeve, because you say, "Look, Kreia, you have no hands." Yes, I have. No, Kreia, I know what you're doing with this.
It's a flesh wound.
I know. I like the movie too. You don't have to reference it, Kreia. It's a flesh god, Kreia. Yeah, yes, the hate, it's flowing through. Kreia, stop. And then she throws out 3 lightsabers and starts floating them around to hit you. And it's actually kind of imposing because they can wreck your shit. But after you beat them, she finally calms down, says, "Yeah, I'm dying." "No, you don't have to die. I've got a med pack right here." "No, this is good. I needed this. This is the path I wanted for you, but you chose your own path. I don't know what your path is. The ending was cut."
I don't know.
Choose your own adventure. You figure it out. You escape with the Ebon Hawk, and you either leave Atten behind if you hate him, or you take him with you. It's choose your own adventure. Use your goddamn imagination, Exile. That's what I love about you. So goodbye, Atrus. Yeah, your time in this place is over, and you fly off into space, and that's it. Maybe you go back to Coruscant. Maybe you
open up that restaurant with your buddy.
Maybe you find Dexter. "Hey, old buddy." "Hey, Dex."
Hey, Dex.
And then thousands of years in the future, if you really squint at the pixels, there's a portrait of you. And Obi-Wan doesn't see
In
it.
episode 2, there's a portrait of the exile.
"Oh, I haven't seen one of these days since I was prospecting out in the Outer Rim." Good times. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you. He's waited so long to talk about this game. Sequel to the Game of the Year.
Sequel to 2003 Game of the Year.